Live. 2020 GSL Super Tournament Season 2.
All right, it's been a quick day as far as Super Tournament goes. 3 3-0s so far. Will we have another? It's Maru going up against Kira. A couple of finalists from this year. You know what they have in common?
They're both Terran.
That's true.
They both used to be on Generic.
That's true as well. Anything else?
I was about to say if their names are similar, but no. What?
They both lost to TY in GSL Finals this year. Bam, that's the one. That's the one I was looking for.
Nice.
You got two, but not that one.
The most important one of all as well. I'm dropping the ball here, I guess. I'm useless.
Oh, this is funny. I actually forgot that Maru won Super Tournament 1 this year.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wild. That just totally left my brain. Yeah, so you can see obviously Maru's having a great year. Not as great as the year where he won all the GSLs, but still a pretty great year.
Yeah, it's not a 4 GSL in a row, unfortunately. Yeah. I'm really upset of him not being able to hold up that standard, to be honest.
It's disappointing.
Yeah, hate to see it. But yeah, this match, hopefully, we had a lot of 3-0s. This one I was looking forward to possibly be the real good banger. Recently, they did play in the King of Battles finals back in October, and that was a 3-1 for Maru. So they are. Those games though were not really 3-1 looking though. They were some pretty back and forth, close, long games. Yeah. So the actual series does say 3-1, but it was really honestly much closer than that.
Like
so
that. Yeah, I get you.
I don't expect this one to be over in the same fashion that the others have been, but
now I totally get what you're saying. And like for instance, Kira versus TY first finals of the year, it was a 4-0 for TY. It didn't feel like a 4-0 because Kira played well. The thing is, I think Kira fights well, but I don't think he's the level of a Maru or a TY, right? I think right now he's the 5th best Korean Terran. And clearly the top 2 are Maru and TY. So I look at this and I'm like, I think Maru's going to win.
So Maru, TY, NO somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Where's
Beyond? The 4 horsemen, man. Whenever they're active, they're the 4 best.
You think Beyond is better than Kira at the moment? I mean,
yes,
okay, yes. I did. Yeah, the Aces Rock literally escaped my brain as I said it. As I said, I was like, wait a minute.
What more can he do?
I'm still in like Maynard's chat, being like, Maynard, did you know that Beyond is back? He's like, wait, the GSL, the WCS BlizzCon champion, he's back? No, surely, and he surely did not just win Aces Rock. You're kidding me. You're kidding me,
dude. In fact. Isn't he the only player to ever defeat Cero and Maru in the same tournament?
Maybe.
I believe he is. That's pretty insane. Anyways, why are we talking about Beyond? He's out of this tournament. Let's go. Maru versus Kira. Let's do it. Now.
Game start.
God, wear the daddy pants.
Team NV. Maru. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Pure.
So, I'm excited. I want to see what Kira can do here. Maru is an exceptional TV tier, but he did lose to Beyond, right? Which is kind of interesting. It's not something I would expect, because Maru is just like the complete package, you know?
Yeah. He's also been doing his own stuff, kind of, in TVT, right? With the Mass Raven stuff been coming back. He's really kind of the first one to be doing that again recently, at least from what I've seen. And other players are starting to do it a bit more now, too, but he really identifies with that style, I feel. He's really strong at controlling that. He just does it more consistently than anyone else, so I would not be surprised to be seeing that here as well. I think it's become very standard for him. The question that I have is how many Proxy 2 racks Reapers are we going to be having out of him in this series? That's what I want to know.
Well, they were on a team together for a very long time in Jin Air, right? So I would almost feel like this is not the guy to necessarily do that against too much. It's funny, they're both going for the 2 racks here anyways, but not proxied.
He did do it versus him in that final, actually, the first game. So you never know with Maru, man. You never know.
Yeah, no, he's definitely willing to mix that up. What you were saying about the Raven thing is actually, I think it's, you know, when I say someone's the full package, because there's this thing where it's like most people, they're like, I love saying, people are strong and weak for the same reason, right? The reason why you're strong is also why you're weak, because it's like, that's how StarCraft is for most people. But then you get the people at the very top, Serral, TY, Maru. That's all that comes to mind right now. But like these complete package players, they do absolutely everything. They have the full range. Everything is there. They're just, everything you see them do, you're like, wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's part of the reason why you see Maru start doing that, right? He has complete comfort in the late game. Ooh. Well, he doesn't get the punish off, but Maru gonna run away, sees exactly what the build is. But yeah, he has that complete comfort. Now, as far as the Supreme late game TVT, does Cure have that same comfort level? I think he's pretty good at it, but I always find him to be a little bit more aggressive in TVT.
Yeah. Maru definitely is someone that does sit back a little bit more in the mid-late game, I think, and I feel like he hits his stride when he can outposition with larger tank counts and stuff like that. I think he is really good at maintaining his tank count and not really losing it to other players compared to other players. It's actually a cute little move to try and come around with the backside.
I like the idea.
It's like what you do with it's like what you do with like Stalkers versus the Marines as well in that kind of situation. But yeah, he's someone that I think is really good at keeping his tank out and then doing a really good job of positioning with those tanks. He played versus Clem in the Aces as well, and he had this one insane game that he was super far behind on Lightshade, and then he did this one very committed counter push with tanks, and he just did it so he like leapfrog his tanks so precisely and so well. He was just getting value off of every shot. Clem wasn't getting a single shot back at him, and he was able to pull it back because of that. And so that game honestly was super impressive from my perspective.
Damn. So I didn't see that one actually.
It is worth
it. Try to
definitely
revisit that one.
So I'm looking for this series definitely.
Yeah, it's well, that's part of the thing with Maru, right? He's just so good at everything that you kind of expect. It's like, oh yeah, no, he'll dominate that position, this position. He's always ahead, stuff like that. But knows how to come back if he's not. He's still trying to harass with less units. Love to see it.
He's getting some damage. I mean, he picked off a Reaper there. He almost got the second one too. Look at that, perfectly even.
Not bad.
Wow, not bad. It's the most even game we've had for the whole day. No, where's my 20 drones, 9 to 2 Banshees? Come on, where's it at? Let's get to that.
Well, there's still time.
Yeah,
there's still time.
I want to see it. Oh, they're both going Raven. How boring.
Both going Stim as well. Very similar builds out of the two players. It does get that lock on. Kira not going to get too much done with these, but I mean, they're hitting the point where they're not really that useful anymore. So I don't think it's the end of the world to lose them there.
Yeah, you really don't care about. It's almost like one of those things where you almost just want to get rid of them so you don't have to use them. Like you don't get baited into using it in a dumb way or overthinking it. You're like, why is this with my army still? Let me just get rid of this. I don't even want this anymore.
Or giving too much attention to a unit that literally has no value anymore. We see people do that sometimes, right? Where it's like, dude, that unit doesn't mean anything anymore. Just leave it. Just don't even look at it again. It's like microing a unit that can't kill anything anymore while it's still in your opponent's base. It's like, you know it can't kill anything. Why? Go back and make your Nexus, you know?
But if they don't look at it for this amount of time, then I'm going to get it.
I just want to highlight reel. Wow, look at these grenades!
Oh my goodness. I wish it would have just broke that lock on. That would have been super sick. Stim is done, though, so he's going to be able to come in and capitalize a little bit. Still gets away.
On what?
Still gets away.
That's just going to cost some medevac energy is all that Stim did.
Maru wins even when he loses.
I know. It's true. Something we see with this guy. All right. Well, their upgrades are pretty close to each other right here. As far as the worker count goes, within 1 on each side. Scan going off, making sure he knows exactly what's up.
This is going to be pretty mirrored for a bit. I think it's going to be This is what I think a lot of the games are going to look like, honestly. If we get like a full 5 set, it's going to look very similar to this. And then in the next 5 or so minutes is when it's, the explosions start happening, where we get a lot of move outs. TVT is kind of like this right now. Both players are going for this pure defensive setup, not really trying to do the huge amounts of committed harassment other than like the Reapers and stuff like that. It's you kind of have to build up a little bit on that 3 base to then get into your bigger tank outs, your big marine balls, and then all of a sudden it's sensor towers everywhere, trying to find everything, outposition everything, and then trying to swing it that way.
Yeah, and as we approach that area of the game, I think it's much more likely that we'll see Cure move out with his full army and Maru to take a slightly more defensive stance while doing moves like this.
Yes.
That's something that he and TY, especially TY, I would say, I would bet any amount of money that would be how he would play a game. But Maru tends more towards that kind of defensive side with the lighter harassment. You see here, just boosts over that turret, and I mean he's getting a decent amount of SCVs here. Oh my God, is he gonna stop an upgrade?
I like the interference mages on the medevacs to make sure at least he doesn't get out with the units, but killing an upgrade, that's massive in a mirror matchup.
It really is. I mean, +1 attack is what you want, but the armor, you will take it. Absolutely. And he gets out with the medevacs and got 9 SCVs and lost mining time. Very worth. Very worth.
Absolutely. This is what I think Maru is really good at, too, with whenever he does do the pressure, he is generally more defensive in this matchup in the mid-game, yes, but when he does do pressure, it's calculated like that. 2 medevacs, not your whole army.
Oh, absolutely.
Cure, someone I see sometimes does go for the big medevac boosts into the main base to try and, totally wipe out production. Maru loves doing those very more simple, calculated, not too much, not too little pressures, and it works extremely well for him right here.
Yeah, when you have this level of mastery that he and TY have, this is I think a superior way to play. Like, look, this is exactly what I was talking about. Here we are, and Kira's moving out with his entire army, right? This is basically everything. Maru on a much more defensive stance, and let's see what he can get done. All right, gonna go ahead and boost into the natural. He does have a pretty good siege tank setup. Oh, actually disables one of them. I like that move quite a bit.
He's actually getting supply block too, because a lot of these depots are at the natural, so that's actually quite bad for Maru here. He's not going to be able to reinforce this, and Kira's army overall is larger now because of this. He is down the upgrade because it did get sniped just before, so that's going to be a critical role here. But one of these Ravens is super low on energy too, by the way, but it might still be able to get its spells off since there's not many things in range to actually kill it. So this is going to still be kind of awkward for Maru or Cure to really do much more with. So Cure's really just going to back up. He's kind of just like, okay, I tried to equalize it a little bit.
Yeah, I think that was a really high-quality move from Cure, to be honest. He found a little area where he could do some damage. He got that supply block for a little bit. I think it was a good move. But here, is he going to be in trouble? Oh, my God.
Dorito dust everywhere.
Spread. Yeah.
Oh, gets the Raven on that back end. That's quite nice. Now it's a single Raven to no Ravens, and once it gets to the later stages of the game, the Raven count really does become extremely influential with how many different disables, how many different auto turrets can get put out, how much Dorito dust gets spammed everywhere. So it's always something to keep in mind. I'm surprised he's not repairing it, actually.
A lot going on, I guess.
Oh, how'd this get here?
Yeah, kind of funny. The SCV actually scouts that, which is really useful for Maru, because that's a big force that's going towards his third base. But he scans, he sees that Maru, of course, scouting his little side attack force, is going to be ready for it.
2-2 is actually already finished for Maru. He's like, even if the one upgrade did not get canceled, he was still quite ahead of that. But he hasn't started his, oh, there we go. There's that +3, but he missed the armor, unfortunately. So Cure has the opportunity to catch back up a little bit there if he is on time with his. But yeah, here comes the positional game. This is where we have to start looking at where these armies actually go. There's a lot of splitting up of these armies. Maru's going to be able to catch whatever this army is on this right side, while Cure is kind of split on 2 complete ends. Maru just field goals it right through the middle.
Yeah, he's actually killing him on 2 different sides right now. Cure is trying to do something really similar. He is going for a bit of a doom drop at the natural, but I don't think it's quite as strong as Maru's overall attack. Maru's already killed 2 bases, and he's coming back with half of his army to help clean this up.
Oh, all those Marines attack the SCVs. Oh no, he's not looking at. He's defending the stuff in his main, of course, as now Maru is sieging up at that natural, and now Cure is the one going into Maru's main. And I can't really tell because their armies are still so similar. They haven't fully engaged each other yet. There's a lot of Vikings from Maru here, so it'll be quite difficult for Cure to retreat with this if Maru can actually pounce on it.
Well, Maru's saved command centers, and he has a bigger Viking count, so he should be able to clean this up. Cure is basically not mining. He lost, like, everything, and now Maru's bringing everything back. Yeah, it's like a huge high damage move from Cure, but there's no longevity, right? Like, he's going to be able to whittle this down.
Once again, the tank count, remember how I said that Maru always loves to try and keep his tanks as much as possible?
Yeah.
The Vikings actually getting pounced on by these Marines, a lot of them going down. They will trade off for the medevacs, and now we're seeing the trade happen once they finally do engage with each other, and all of this will get cleaned up in Maru's base. Maru did have to bring all of his stuff back to deal with this, so Cure also is out of his base, and they're extremely even on army, but you said that Maru saved CCs, however, he doesn't actually have workers.
Yeah, that's a very
Cure,
good point.
He does have 2 more CCs still.
Yeah, he did actually. I thought he lost one of those, but I guess he does have some command centers left. He still can get some mining done. Let's see. I don't think he's going to get anything done with this attack. Maybe Cure fights back here.
That's the worst feeling. That is the worst, when you just eat it for the shot and you don't even commit. You're just like, oh, all right, I just lost 100% there.
Well, Maru, he does have the 3 commands right now, one of which is a planetary. He's pretty well defended. He still has more Vikings, and he actually added a couple facts, so he is going to just be focusing on that tank count that you were talking about. Looks like +3 finishing up. Overall army supply is pretty similar, but the tank count definitely very favored for Maru still. Just tech-wise, Maru has much better, right? He has 3 medevacs against 0, 5 Vikings against 0, and 7 tanks.
Correct. His Marine count is sufficiently lacking, though. He's almost down half the amount of Marines. Cure has got an incredible production of Marines out right now. This sensor tower is not quite done, so Kira doesn't actually see this army here quite yet. Oh, almost kills it! Oh my God! That's at like 0.5% from finishing, and it's like 35 health from actually dying. That's kind of funny.
That actually tells us a lot about the mindset of Maru. The fact that he targeted the sensor tower specifically shows that he wants to kind of play in the dark spots for Cure and get some harassment done, realizing that he is a bit behind economically.
That's a good point. That is a good point. That's some 5-head analysis right there. Oh my goodness. Holy moly already. Wow. All right, but yeah, Cure is definitely ramping up pretty heavily since he did have that SCV count saved more so than Maru. The Marine count, like I said, is going to be much, much more in his favor. And he's going to try to do this push up into the top side. Maru, once again, is kind of field goaling the armies here, coming in between them, but realizing that his army is much, much smaller. A lot of his army is in these Vikings, but is this going to be useful? Oh my God, he just runs straight into the tank line. There's so many Marines that he's going to be able to blast through it. Vikings, again, being completely useless up at the top here, and all of Maru's army is completely caught off, getting forced on stage, and Cure pouncing on the bottom side as well.
Beautiful.
This is insane damage.
What an awesome finish there. Really great moves from Cure. That was a beautiful game. We saw their styles really play out there, and even though, like, Maru had the more high-tech units, you were right. He lost like all his SCVs during Cure's attack. So big cheers to Cure for that. Really helping himself to refill his army, get that overwhelming Marine count, and bust through at the end. A great game. A great game.
And a good result for all of us trying to watch as well, because, you know, people are probably sitting here and be like, yeah, let's go Maru. He's going to win. Woo, he's really favored in TVT. Cure comes in with the first game win.
Yeah, this almost
5-game
guarantees
series.
no 3-0. No one's ever 3-0'd Maru.
Yeah.
It's never happened.
Wait, easy there, because the last time I heard you say something like this, then the guy got reverse 3-0'd. And I made a video about it.
Oh. It's not going to happen. Don't worry about it.
Wonderful. I hope so. I'm cheering for that to not happen as well.
All right. Next up, Death Aura. See if Maru can fight his way back. Cure, of course, leading 1-0. That was such a nice first game. I love how stylistic TVT can get as well. It's really nice to see because it's a mirror matchup, so you almost don't expect it as much, but you really can see it kind of shine through the way that they like to play.
Yeah, and I think I like how it did kind of actually happen the way we were expecting it to as well. We saw the big push-outs from Cure with his main army trying to get position on the map. Maru doing those small calculated pressures with the medevac and the Reapers and the Cyclone and stuff like that. And although Maru was unable to win, he was still doing a good job of keeping his tank count alive, doing the best that he could in the situation with that base trade. But I mean, I have to go back and look at it exactly, but like it was kind of strange how it actually ended up favoring Cure at the end of it. It really did seem like Maru had the jump on him almost, but he still ended up behind anyway.
Yeah. Well, Maru cleared command centers real quickly. He killed like 2 command centers right off the bat with the 2 pushes, and then he went to the natural. And here's the thing, right? He left half of his army at the natural to make sure that lift and everything and no reinforcements are coming out, and then he sent half of it back, which I immediately thought, like, oh, this could be a really good move. Whereas Cure actually continued with the plan. He said, screw it. He pulled everything he could back into his main, and his army that was out there was not turning around. So Maru didn't really try to force his way up the ramp or anything. He just kind of sat there, whereas Cure just kept pushing. He utilized all of his units, got full damage out of them. When Maru's having to traverse the whole map to get back, it gave him that extra lead on damage.
Yeah, that's a good point for sure. Knowing that he kind of wanted to do that damage, and it really did feel like a one-way trip for him, knowing that he maybe was behind in the Viking count as well, thinking, okay, maybe my medevacs, they're not going to have a chance to get out anyway. So let me fully commit, let me back up into my main, deal as much damage as possible. I know this is going to die, but I'm going to end up better off anyway at the end.
Yeah. And I think at the end of the day, that was probably the move that won it for Cure. Very strong move overall, and just the fact that he killed like all the SCVs. Maybe Maru should have focused on getting SCVs out or something, but those base trades, like, you can't even practice for a base trade. Every single base trade game is so completely different from the other ones. You just have to kind of play by intuition.
Yeah. It's really tough. That's me as a player as well. I always struggle with that. When I'm playing my ladder games at home, it's really something you do not expect to go into ever, unless you're someone that's trying to actually go for that style. Like, there's your SOSs or your whoever's that will try to maybe push those a little bit harder. But
for sure,
it's really hard to practice that stuff. It's completely just on the fly stuff.
Yeah, it truly is. A little tip for Protoss players out there: make your Dark Shrine.
Oh yeah,
it's the ultimate in base trades is DTs.
I mean, recall as well is also super strong.
Yeah.
Honestly, like the thing that I tell the most to Protoss is when you see a base trade happening, simply make a decision. Like, go straight on his decision. I'm going to do this. I have this much room to do this, and that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maru being down one game here. Let's see what happens. Game number 2.
Team NV, Maru. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Cure.
So, let's see what they're gonna do. I'm excited. That was really fun because they opened up with like the same openers basically, but then you saw them just kind of stylize and go off the sides and play in very, very different ways.
But yeah, to finish my point. Whenever a base trade is happening, make a decision. Say, I'm going to do this. I have this much room to do it. Commit to it, and then you have your recall. You can recall right back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Super fun. A lot of times you see players like they just get really completely chaotic in the situation. They don't know what they're supposed to actually do. They just see it happening in a way that they didn't anticipate. They're like, oh God, what am I do? Oh, there's so many things that could happen. Oh, do I do this? Do I do that? Oh my God, I don't know what to do. But for Protoss, it's pretty good having the recall ability to just zoop it on back home, knowing you always have that advantage with you, and then like you said, DTs are pretty good. But these players are not Protoss whatsoever, so this is not valuable here whatsoever. But I hope all you Protoss players watching, you can take that little tidbit and go ahead and make some Terran players mad on the ladder. Do it.
Honestly, though, it is useful in one way. Decisivity is one of the most high, I would rate it as one of the most valuable things in StarCraft. Being decisive. It is much better to be very decisive and do the wrong thing than to hem and haw and figure out the right thing to do.
Yes.
That is something that I think people really miss out on, especially newer players that are always talking about strategies. Like, what do I do strategically here? What do I do strategically there? It's like, well, actually, if you just focused, and I mean, this goes down as far as focus on your your micro or your macro or whatever it is that you're doing at the time, but just when you make a decision, do it all the way.
Yeah.
Just do it.
This is extremely relevant. I literally was just I was just asking Trap about a specific thing I was doing with defending one base TVP, and I didn't know what to do as a follow-up, right? I would defend their initial like harass, and then I didn't know what to do afterwards, so I would just actually do nothing because I'm trying to, like, my brain is like, okay, I want the exact perfect response, but then I don't know what it is, and so then my brain wants to do 3 things that I don't be decisive enough. I don't say, okay, I'm just going to do this, I'm just going to spend my money, whatever, and then he's literally just sitting there being like, dude, just spend your money, what are you talking about, just do whatever. I was like, oh,
absolutely.
Oh, you're so smart. Okay, what am I doing over here?
That's actually a perfect example of it. Perfect example. Just do stuff.
Just do it.
Yeah. It is a very strategic game, but it's won more by decisive players than strategic players, honestly.
Shia LaBeouf would be an amazing StarCraft player.
Would he?
He's the just do it, the just do it. You know
is he?
You know that meme?
No.
Oh. What?
I'm sorry.
Oh, no. Not like this. Not like this. The one time that I think I can bring up a meme on broadcast that Artosis surely knows about.
No, I don't know. Man.
Oh, no.
Was it like this all along? Yes, it was, Gun Astronaut. That's the only meme I know anymore.
Oh. Boomers.
Yep. All right, so nice little concave here from Cure. He's got a few Hellions out. He's just been a little bit of poking back and forth. Looks like Maru going to go ahead and move out, tank 4 Marines and that medevac. A couple Reapers going with him as well.
I know this is not related at all, but I really want to see a Proxy 2 Rex out of Maru. I just love watching him Proxy, so I'm just kind of waiting for that to happen, but we're not. That's much in the future. We're not even in that game right now. But so Maru's going to be doing, again, some light pressure. We'll see what he can get done with this. Cure is pretty positioned to not deal with this. Actually, there's a tank in here. He's going to do it on the below ground, so he can actually kind of flank that with the Hellions here. But now the Marines have free reign into the main. They'll be able to definitely get some SCVs here. They're not getting out, though, for sure.
Well, the medevac goes down very, very quickly here. How many SCVs does he actually end up getting?
8. Wow.
Okay, 8 SCVs, and he loses the tank, the Marines, and the medevac.
He lost a lot for that.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if I like it or not, and I think the answer is no.
Yeah.
I think the 8 Hellions coming in are actually going to be more valuable.
Is this going to just kill Maru? What does he have to kill 8? How many ever Hellions this is? The Raven's going to come out now, but he doesn't have a tank.
Yeah, with the Raven, he
tank
can't break it.
Tank's out right now.
There's plenty there right now.
For a second, it was like literally was just only Marines and a Cyclone. I was like,
yeah,
this doesn't kill 8 Hellions. What am I looking at here?
Especially when he microed against the lock-on so quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess the tank popped out quickly enough. Isn't going to find anything else.
I mean, he ends up ahead on workers. He's up 2 workers. He'll have an extra 2 here in a second, so he's technically kind of up like 2.5 workers or so. So not too bad. His third CC timing will be a little bit off just because he has to float it down, whereas Cure has the map control and map presence to be able to just build it on location. So that's a nice little adjustment from Cure there. But it'll be going pretty even going into this mid game for now.
Yeah, it's kind of funny you say map control, right? But Maru sends a single Marine out and technically, I guess, has map control in a way. But no, you're quite right. The mobile force is Cure's, so Maru cannot really venture out other than a little scout like this.
This lone Marine actually going to be able to do everything it needs to do. It's
dominating
exactly
the map.
Happens. By the technical, definition of map control, Maru literally is he is the one in the lead of that right now.
He's got more on the map, but not anymore.
Nope, now it's back over to Cure because he's got that Viking slowly patrolling just outside his main.
There you have it.
Perfect.
All right. So Maru going to go ahead, float down. Of course, losing just a little tiny bit of SCV production there too, but none of this matters all that much. Cure is slightly ahead on his upgrades here. As you can see, about halfway done. And Maru's going to have to play a little bit more of a turtle game. Cure just, I mean, Maru has a little bit more of the tech, so I don't think he's going to die or anything, but, Cure is going to be in control of the map for quite some time.
I feel like Maru's fine with that too, like that kind of, that's what he goes for in this matchup, right?
Yeah.
He's going for the multi-Raven style as well again this game. He's got 3 of them out so far. He's cutting it for now to get some extra Vikings out, but he does have the 3 Ravens, so that does give him a lot more utility in these fights. A lot of this army from Cure the supply difference is huge, but a lot of it is Hellions. A lot of disables going down onto those 2 tanks, though, which is extremely influential. So now this stimmed bio is going to get up on top of all of this actual unstimmed bio from Maru. Maru does not have stim with these Marines, or just didn't use it.
Yeah, no, he doesn't have it yet, right? But yeah, the auto turrets just completely saved him there.
Yeah.
So Cure, I mean, I guess Cure got a little bit done, but yeah, that kind of went how
That was
I
a strange
thought
looking
it would.
fight.
Yeah, it was definitely very strange looking. It was good disable on the tank and everything. It's just
I thought the disables were honestly going to swing it a lot more heavier than it did, and then the Ravens do then come back. Like those auto
5
turrets,
auto turrets.
those
is like,
they literally do so much more than you ever think they do.
Yeah.
Like they don't look like they actually contribute so much, but they're so huge
dude,
in what they do.
They do so much damage. They're not there for that long, but they really do, and they tank a ton too.
And you think it's really going to only be versus the tanks, right? You think they just, because don't they have like an extra, don't they do extra versus armored? Am I totally wrong on that? Or am I?
I'm actually not sure.
I thought there was like I thought there was something they did to make it so that they were better versus tanks for some reason. I don't know why, but you think they're really going to only be good at dislodging like the tank positions, but they actually do a lot of damage to the Marines as well. So it's tough to gauge it sometimes.
Well, that's how the Hellions all exploded so quickly.
That's
which
true.
He would have been massacred if not, right?
God,
So
Ravens are such good units, man.
they're pretty all right, for sure. All right, a couple of medevacs filled up here. He's just outside the sensor tower on the other side. So as these get boosted in, he's actually moving in with the rest of his forces. Well, it looked like he was, but he's actually just sitting right inside of that sensor tower range.
I'm here, look at me. Gets into the main, we'll be able to siege up the tank. We'll be able to, just siege up the auto turrets. There we go
Auto turrets
again.
just wreck everything.
Dude, auto turrets are so good at this. I love it.
Auto turrets are really good at StarCraft.
Yes, they are the best StarCraft players.
They don't last very long.
Why would you need to when you can just destroy everything right
That's
as they come out? It's pretty good. I want to see when he starts remaking more more Ravens to see if he wants to replenish that at all.
we'd have to get basically maxed out, I think, at that point, where you actually are thinking about going into Sky Terran. More factories down on both sides getting the 2-2. And Maru, I saw him load up some medevacs. Yeah, there they are on the left-hand side of the map. So Maru's doing his thing, right? He's got the heavy tech units. He's really focusing on that, continuing his upgrades and everything, and starting to get his harassment going. Scans to see exactly what's up. Notice how he's standing half in, half out of the sensor tower range.
Yeah, I just saw that too. You're right.
It's kind of interesting.
That is interesting.
I actually always had this thought where it would be smart against a turtle player in a position like this. Like if you are playing a TVT, like this exact situation, you're Cure and you have map control, it would be cool to just put like patrolling Marines that go in and out on the sides of their furthest away sensor towers, because it adds confusion and it adds stress to looking at the minimap and stuff. Like that's you never know when
amazing.
stuff's coming in. Like if you start ignoring blips on your minimap, then that's really bad.
Oh my god, that is 5 head Artosis is back.
Yeah,
That is amazing. That is so good.
I think it's a good tactic. All right, so
Army on the left side is going to come in here. We got to disable on one of the tanks, which will give him position to put his tanks up forward a little bit, and we'll be able to kill that first one. Dorito Dust going on to the main Marine force. We'll be able to still pick off the Liberator regardless, so that's kind of a nice pick off there from Kira given the situation. The drop from Maru now is going to go into the third base, and there's not much here, although the reinforcements are positioned up to the top, so he will be able to clear this eventually, but we'll kill off some SCVs from the start and get into the main as well.
Yeah, a little bit annoying. It's going to take some of his attention. Oh, he has a
Unlucky.
round pops out just as he gets
Unlucky.
up there. So good defense there by Cure. Maru is going to end up holding on. This is the beautiful part about being a little bit more tech-heavy as Maru, even though your harassment is maybe not doing all that much. With the Raven lead, the Viking lead, and sitting in a more turtled position, he can do things like utilize those Liberators, right? And keep Cure back. Like, how is Cure supposed to attack right now?
Yeah.
You really can't. Like, the best I think he can do right now, honestly, is to throw down his own starports and 2 more command centers. I think that's the play.
Yeah. And this looks so similar to their King of Battles tournament, or King of Battles match as well, where Maru is doing this thing where he's just sitting back, getting the Ravens faster, while Cure is trying to be on the map as much as possible. And there we go, just like you said.
2 starports, 2 commands.
5 head Artosis is back.
He never left. Oh, sick armor shred right there. Look at that. Cure having to back up.
And here we have Maru doing what Maru does, where he he defends the whole time, and then once he does move out, he seems to be able to pick his fights so well and just be able to jump on people all the time. He always seems to be able to get these first jumps on people's armies and is really good at then continuing to get better positions off of that. This game, he's kind of backing up a little bit, so he doesn't quite think that he can fully push it, but still giving him position to then take this other base to the right side too.
Yeah, they're both going to be expanding all over the place. You see the Corvid Reactor almost done here for Maru. And this is where they're both heading towards Sky Terran. And here's, I think, the problem for Cure. He's heading into Sky Terran against Sky Terran, whereas he's a more aggressive Terran, so he's in this situation less. And Maru started first. So both those things give Maru a pretty sizable advantage in this situation.
Cure is coming up to this with a flank, though. There's a very large portion of his army coming all the way around. I wonder if he's actually going to commit there or if he's going to go for the base. Looks like he's going for the base before it gets put up into a planetary. So that's a quite nice pickoff as Maru's kind of slow pushing this top part. And, oh, those SCVs barely not getting caught by those Marines. It's quite unlucky. But Maru, again, up here, is slow pushing this. He has a big army here to go against this. Cure has the opportunity to continue his counter pressure or go in for the flank. It seems like he's going to continue pushing into this third base location. And I mean, Maru's lost a base. He's not quite killed the base he's trying to push so far. So, I mean, this is looking pretty all right for Cure in this specific moment.
You know, yeah, I loved his kill of that command center on the side. And this is taking Maru a long time, but he's showing the type of value he can extract from his army, right? Kira's not going to get any more damage than he did. Maru, I don't think he can really push further right now. I think he does have to back up.
Yeah.
A little bit of a tit for tat there. You can really see, too, look at the unit tab that we have up right now, right? It's just like, you see, it's the two completely contrasting styles going against each other. Maru continuing along that upgrade path. Cure, slowly but surely, he is adding in more Ravens, so he's getting ready. He eventually will do a pretty heavy air switch.
I kind of like that idea by Maru at that top with those Marines over there. He kind of brought his whole army except for those back, thinking that Cure wouldn't possibly be going up there, but Cure did see it, so maybe he didn't see it, but he was planning to go here anyway, so he was able to catch those off without medevac support, so pretty decent catch there. Would have been cool if he, to see what Maru would have done otherwise, but...
and you know what, it goes along with that as well, I think, is you want to be spending Marines. Look at his bank right now. He's got over 3K minerals. Anywhere he can utilize Marines is fantastic. Oh my god.
Oh my god, a lot of disables going up on the tanks to the left. All of Maru's tanks are still left firing, but a lot of Marines are still breaking through. Will be able to kill off those tanks there, even though the other ones were completely disabled.
Yeah, I mean, Cure ends up destroying that army for the most part, but he actually got out with most of his Vikings and his Ravens. So Maru making the best of these bad situations still, getting quality trades.
Yeah, this little drop over here is doing a pretty good amount of damage, at least distracting Cure for the most part, while he then goes into the bottom himself. These couple tanks actually getting picked off is quite good for Maru. Oh no, there's SCVs getting a big chunk by that tank at the top, and a bunch of different secret missiles and different auto turrets getting placed down, and Cure is going to be able to then push this side as well. I mean, Cure's looking pretty strong in these trades overall.
Yeah, he is. I mean, you can see one or two trades not go Maru's way because of the type of army he has. He can gain that value back, but when Cure is killing off a couple bases, keeping his bases alive, and then forcing back Maru's army into his already turtled territory, that is Cure starting to take the lead.
Yeah. Although he's...
I don't know that he...
much lesser supply all of a sudden, but...
Yeah, he does have a lesser supply, but I'm not worried about his supply as much. What I am worried about is just Maru still has the higher quality army.
Yeah, that is true. Cure is going to be able to secure this base up at the top again since he does have general map control. We'll be going down to the bottom once more, seeing if he can finally pick off this actual base here. Turrets getting spammed down to be preventing whatever Maru has to try and defend, and yeah, this has got no hopes of staying alive. He's going to be able to kill that instantly. The medevac drop over to, he actually, I think he F2'd that back. All of a sudden, those Marines are not going to be trying to kill off that base, and Cure's going straight into the Nat and third base, trying to get a really good position here, and Maru seems like he's kind of scrambling to get his stuff all together here.
Yeah, I got to tell you what, I think that Cure is playing an awesome game here. It felt like Maru had the game where he wanted it, and for him to have the game in that type of position, for Cure to fight back and just start killing everything, is super impressive.
Yeah, and he's, again, we can see the massive disparity, this insane Viking cloud compared to literally no Vikings out of Cure. There's one, and just a couple more did just produce, but yeah, Maru is going to be keeping the air dominance here, but he has not been really getting the best ground level trades, as now these Marines are going into the side base once again, being able to kill off some of those, and then he's boosting on out nice and safely. So again, Cure is kind of, he's getting good leads, and now he's kind of trying to solidify it going on into the later stages.
And the way that he's hitting one side than the other side is really, really smart too, because the army of Maru has to move together, right? He can't split it as easily as Cure can. Cure's has a lot of firepower, whereas Maru's is more about finesse. So we see Maru moving up with most of his army right now, hitting that kind of like 3rd or 4th base area that has a lot of the command centers. Cure, once again, canceling another location here for Maru. Another place he can't mine from.
Maru does have this advantage of the Vikings, though, so he's actually able to still kill these orbitals as they're floating away, which is pretty nice. So he's actually going to kill 2 of them in the same time that that Cure killed 1 of his. He's even going to be able to siege this planetary at the top, so this is actually not too bad out of Maru whatsoever. Quite like this quite a lot, but Cure is starting to position his army to get a really nice big flank on this entrenched location. Let's see how this does play out. Lots of different Seekers going off all over the place. Cure is coming in, gets a disable on one of the tanks, and is absolutely, completely disheveling Maru from this position. Excellent.
Yeah, it was a great bust, but you saw what Maru did during that. He targeted down like 5 or 6 Ravens. So now he has a massive Raven advantage. So, like, yeah, overall, like, he busted that. But as far as the very long-term units, Maru reduced what Cure has in that area.
He's maintaining his tech lead, doing a good job of that. Tank count is also still in his favor very heavily. Ooh, lots of different disables going off. This is going to be a huge position for him to jump on.
Huge moment. Kills off so many tanks right there. And you can see
2
it's like...
tanks.
I would love to just see the graphs about how much Cure has mined this game compared to Maru, because you know it's a lot more, but Maru is just... It's like his economy is in the sky, right? That's each one of these Ravens is a couple mules just mining consistently.
So much value being put down from every single one of these spells, and I mean, Cure is going to be getting his tank count back up. He's getting 2 at a time, of course, but getting put down to literally 2 tanks compared to 12 at that point was actually huge. These Marines are going to be able to kill another base. There's not enough here to... Oh, actually, yes, there is a lot here all of a sudden. All those Vikings just came out of nowhere, so the medevac will be able to boost away. There's no sensor tower down here, actually. It did die earlier, so now there's no information from Maru to say that this push is actually coming. So this also then has to lift and will definitely die, along with all the SCVs.
Yeah, loses quite a bit. Look at this disabling, moving up the ramp as well. Now, Maru's army can deal with this, so I think, yeah, Cure should be running away. And he does, but you know what? We just saw him kill 2 command centers and 31 SCVs. I mean, this is... These two are playing out of their mind. This is just such a wonderful series.
It's so hard to call this because, like, they're every single move that one makes, the other then just responds immediately. It's like you're trying to find a spot. Okay, this person has the lead. This person has the lead. They're so even every single time. Cure's coming in once again to try and get this forward PF, and he will do so. But Maru is kind of lurking, trying to find this army of Cure that's somehow evaded him and is now going to the bottom, and all of his tanks are getting completely surrounded. Somehow gets them out. I don't know how any of those didn't die. Lots of different anti-armor going down as well, and all of a sudden Maru is now completely wiping this army while the top army is still getting work done as well.
Maru's not even really mining at this point. He's got 60 minerals. You know, definitely Cure not mining a whole lot himself. This is I'm getting chills right now.
Those SCVs just like walk through an entire army. Oh, so
well,
funny.
right now he's like, okay, it's actually time to draw your army together here, Cure, because we're getting to the point where both players have almost no economy. A little bit more for Cure, but the army is still better for Maru, so Cure needs to get his whole army together.
Oh my god, this army is going to get completely separated. He's going to at least be able to get a flank with his rest of reinforcements coming from the left, but is that really going to... Oh, he's bunching quite up here. This is not that great for him.
Oh my god, the spell's just being thrown out like crazy. The Raven's throwing down tons of auto turrets. Maru's stimming forward. He does disable all the tanks on the right. And he will clear Cure's entire army there.
Holy mo! He's got 13 SCVs. He has 13 SCVs in total. He's got like 1 orbital, 2 that is actually landed. An auto turret is killing off like 70% of Maru's economy, but he has so many tanks. He's got 8 tanks. Cure has no tanks. There's not a single tank. There's 6 Ravens to 2.
Yeah, how
What
do
can
you
Cure do?
stand against that? How do you stand against it? It's 9 Vikings against 3, so you have no air dominance overall. But look at this. Cure is utilizing those units that won't be helpful against the main army down here, destroying the economy. 5 workers left for Maru.
He's got literally nothing. There's a single disable on the 1 tank. It's somehow not dead. There we go. Finally targets it. Down it goes. And now he's going to be able to go off into the main base as well, completely on top of all the production. There's a lot of Marines that are coming out, of course, from Cure, so he's going to be able to at least set up and surround the army potentially with this other stuff coming from the bottom. But this is just so many tanks. There's 8 tanks. There's still 6 Ravens that are, I'm pretty sure, full energy. He's going to go in for it.
Oh man, a lot of auto turrets coming down right here as he does flank. Let's see, can Maru end up holding on here?
Oh my
It
God,
looks
it's a
like
wash.
he will.
It's a wash. He completely destroys the army. There's absolutely nothing for Cure. GG is called. Maru evens the series in an insane way.
What a game. I got chills all over my body right now. And not because it's cold outside, even though it is. That was amazing. What a game from both sides. These two, like...
This is what I was talking about as well with that
Dude.
that Clem game. Very similar. Not not to the same extent, but the Maru's ability to always find a good position when it mattered, and to then keep his tank count, keep his Raven count, and he just pushes it, and he just gets a sick engage, and he can close the game.
Well, this really points towards like what you were saying right there. Okay, here's what's so beautiful about what we're watching here. The amount of self-expression that we see from these two players while they battle each other is immense, right? Like in any pursuit, right? There's this ability to express yourself and show the way that you see it and the way that you do it. And StarCraft is one of the biggest ones because there's so many different things going on at one time. Before the match, we talked about what you said, that the other previous match against Clem, we talked about their overall styles, the way that they like to play, how Cure is more aggressive, Maru is more comfortable in the late game, things like that. We saw all of that over and over and over. And it was like, whose truth is truer, right? Who can really show the inner beauty of their soul through a TVT to us right now? And it was amazing, right? Like, this is why StarCraft is the best game in the world.
Preach. Preach it,
God.
Artie. Preach it.
And now I just fall over here and fly away. I don't even know. There's a mosh pit of ghosts. I'm just... God,
oh my God,
that game was just so good. It was just to watch the completely different styles in a mirror matchup, face against each other.
And it was after another game that was also basically the same thing, but the opposite style winning.
Yes.
So we now have seen both styles clash in 2 different games, with both of them winning 1 time.
It's a good series. It's a good series.
I like StarCraft.
It's all right. Those first 3 series, I was like, you know what, this game's dead.
Been building up. It's been building up.
Yeah.
We were pretty close. You know, it's just like, you know what, StarCraft, it's been a good run. 3 3-0s in a row, though. I don't know.
You know, this could have been the best series of the night with just game 1.
Yeah. But now we got game 2.
Or if someone, got a red card and got DQ'd from one game and the other guy 3-0'd or something. But like, now we have something really nice here. These two doing battle for us. Oxide going to be the next map. It is all tied up. Anyone's series. They're looking evenly matched. Let's get into game number 3.
Game start. Team NV, Maru. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Cure.
Still no Proxy Rex.
Yeah. I'm not too surprised. It's like Maru did go through such a Remember back when he was a teenager and all he did was proxy racks? That phase
You mean
is
like
over.
2 years ago?
Yeah. Like, actually, exactly, yes. 2 years ago is when he proxy racked almost every game. And I guess I think he was a teenager then as well.
Yeah.
So it works perfectly. But yeah, he doesn't do it as much anymore. I mean, people
Yeah,
still
yeah.
have such a memory of it because it was just he
It was
did
so
it so
prominent.
much. Yeah, it was so prominent. But you know, obviously, like we were talking about, he's completely a full range player. It was kind of funny, right? Because those first 3 GSLs that he won in a row were all based off of aggressive proxy play.
Yep.
Then the 4th one, he like turtled and macroed and went mech and stuff, and it was like, oh my god, he's just better than everybody. Wow.
It's like MVP when he won his
Yeah.
last GSL just by playing completely defensive, and
Yeah.
then the mass BC game, and then has the absolute balls to do a proxy 2 racks on the 7th game.
The guy was a god.
Absolute legend.
So, command center on the way. Oh, factory. Okay. Cool. Has that double gas?
I feel like we just have to kind of like wait.
Yeah, no,
Like
we do.
I really want to just see. Can we just fast forward? Can we just get to the mass tank, marine, raven out positions and stuff like that? That's what I want to see.
Yeah, well, that last game was so good. That's the type of game that the duality of man is like, that last game is the type of game I want. You know, like in the Matrix where they can just inject like kung fu into your head.
Yes.
I want that, but I also want the game to never end. So explain that to me. So I want it all at once, but I also never want it to end, right? It's like when you get like a really delicious piece of cake and you gobble it down, but also you want to savor it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the feeling. That's the feeling. So what do I do here? Do I revel in the early game slowness, or do I just want it all just shoved down my throat immediately?
I love it. That's an amazing sentence to just take out of context. It isn't the Matrix when they can just inject kung fu into your head. And
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, no, that's... I think about that sometimes. I'm like, whoa, just give it all to me. Like, when you start like a new series that's so good, you're like, I want to watch all of it.
yes.
But I never want it to end.
Yep.
That's this series right now.
I feel that. I definitely feel that
Yeah.
for sure. But we have to wait. We have to wait.
We get no choice, unfortunately.
Gosh,
We lowly
life is so
commentators.
cruel.
I know.
How dare we have to wait for 5 minutes of early game TVT nothingness? Oh my gosh. Wait, but Gemini Artosis, they're doing slightly different builds than before. It's cool.
Yeah, it is. That is cool. All right, so Maru here, tank. Once again, is he going to do that same type of attack?
He might. I mean, it's a good map for it, right? Because they've got the
Sure.
high ground spot on the main. This one's pretty abusable for that for sure. Curious seems like he's kind of ready for that.
Yeah,
kind of
you
move,
really-
right? He's got the tank
yeah.
already sitting there. He's like, yeah, I know you can do that for sure, but how about not?
Yeah, no, he'll smash it. It's the same exact attack as the previous game. We don't have like 8 Hellions out to flank the tank, I guess. So that's
Yeah.
one thing, but yeah, that's pretty good placement, I would say.
I mean, there are only 2 Marines. The Raven is only just started.
I guess
So-
if you hop the Reapers up, they take the tank hit,
And
you
then
can
you
drop
just drop
the
on
tank.
top. That's what I'm looking at. Oh,
Yeah.
or he's just gonna slow it.
Oh.
Oh, it's just barely out of range. Oh, that's really good for Maru
That's
to get that
amazing.
hit.
Amazing placement.
Oh, he just gets the tank. And yeah, all that's left are a couple Marines. There's a Viking. It's 23 army supply, 8 to 7.
Dude, this is
What?
wow, I guess he fell into Maru's trap of being ready for what Maru was going to do.
It's
like,
the
oh, I
Banshee.
love it when they prepare for what I'm going to do.
It's the Banshees all over again. You think you have it scouted. You think you know what's going to happen. You're prepared, and then boom, bada bing, you lose the game. The
Yeah,
Raven's
no,
out.
This is massive damage.
Oh my goodness. 12, 13 SCVs. He might even get another one. Gets the Marine there. Trying to get a couple more. Oh my god, what's he going to end at? 15, gets 2 more with that nice last Hellion splash damage. 17.
I can't
oh my
even believe
god.
the damage.
Holy moly.
By the way, if
He gets it with the tank. The tank lives.
Yeah, of course it does. That's a killer. You know, if his tank is dropped a millimeter forward
Yeah.
and Kier's tank gets the first volley,
This
does
is
he
just-
lose 17 SCVs?
No.
No,
He doesn't
does
lose
not.
1. He doesn't lose
Yeah,
1.
I know. How crazy is that?
This would just be like a totally normal. Oh, nice trade. Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
The opener didn't work.
Maru saw that tank siege. He's like, I love it when people are ready for what I'm going to do. Oh my god, that's when I really murder them.
Oh my god, you blind countered my build. Oh, perfect. Now you've sprung my trap.
Yeah. It's better to be completely unready, you fool.
I mean, yeah, Rogue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Proxy 4X didn't scout it. Hello?
That's the Jin Air way. Okay, so Maru has his third command, so does Cure.
Stim timing obviously is going to be way different from this opener.
Yeah.
Cure is going to have it much faster, but again, he doesn't really have many Marines to do with that. He's only got a couple here, and the tank's going to get sieged out in the position on the behind the Nat. He's got 2 Ravens to 1.
Yeah, he has 2 Vikings on the way as well, so that might come into play. Let's see. Ooh. I actually wouldn't have minded a disable type play here, but...
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he goes up and disables Cure's tank. The second tank on the high ground going to help a bit, but oh my god, the SCV's getting absolutely mangled. 17 more SCVs dead?
God. This is huge. This is absolutely huge. The Raven actually got sniped from Cure as well. I think there was like a Cyclone lock on or something. I don't think, maybe I saw that wrong, but the Raven died quite quickly, was mid-spell, wasn't able to even cast I think the auto turret was trying to put down, so... Yeah, Maru is just absolutely taking control of this game and really pushing it hard into Cure. Cure does he even have a 3rd CC in process right now?
Yeah, no, he has it. It's in his main, like it's finished.
Oh, can't even
but
see it.
yeah, it's that big square in the bottom right.
Oh, nice.
No, but he's like basically dead.
Yo, repair.
I think he's just like
repair.
He's repairing with
one,
like
two. Oh, he's just going to lift and go. He's going to try to completely get rid of it. The tank gets focus fired. Actually stays alive, but still, there's just so much here. He's going to lose absolutely everything. Maru, very decisive.
Whew. Mashed him that game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we kind of deserved it, right? We were pretty spoiled after those first 2 games. There's no way. Yeah. There's no way every game was going to look like that.
No, that's pretty impossible. You got to have a mashing here and there. Okay, Maru leads 2-1. That was a scary one. That was pretty one-sided. And that was like so unforgiving too, because Cure was basically ready for what Maru was doing, but didn't account for the fact that Maru is like the best ever. So, that one little siege tank move that he made just out of vision.
It's insane.
Brutal.
It's insane how close this game can be sometimes. Like literally a pixel of difference made that entire game. If he does not get that first shot, that does not snowball in that way whatsoever.
And Maru saw it and knew he could do that, is the thing, too. And he instantly did it, and he didn't screw up where he dropped the tank or anything.
Insane. Going on to set number 4 on Lightshade.
Game start. Team NV, Maru. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Cure.
All right. What's the best you got, Cure? Because it's
Give
time
me
to
a
use
proxy
it.
2 racks, man. I want to see some fireworks.
None of that. Maru's going to save that for later in the tournament. He doesn't want to bring out all his builds right away.
Finals.
You know he's going to hit TY in the finals,
I was going to say finals is TY, and he breaks it out 3 games in a row. Yeah. He's playing the long con with this.
Might be. You know, right now, TY is downstairs commentating this. He's watching.
I'm staring at him right now.
Yeah, no, he's thinking about it. He's like, okay, this is the guy I have to play in the finals. They know already.
It's like, that is such an interesting thing too, right? Like, the fact that you are commentating a tournament as the favorite to win the same tournament.
Yeah,
like that's just
crazy.
insane to me. Like, and like, you always hear that players will, of course, be doing VOD review and all that stuff to make sure they're prepared for their tournaments and for their players and stuff like that. But like, TY's literally doing it as it's happening. Yeah. I really just want to know like what he feels like to be doing this, right? It's such a unique thing to be both casting at his level and then literally just winning the same tournament that he's casting.
Here is my question for that. Does he let out 100% of his knowledge in the cast?
That's what I want to know,
because he's actually smarter than everyone. Just to put this out there, like I have always said for like the past 4 years at least that he's the smartest pro. And at least Special agrees with me. But I think a lot of people see it that way, that he just kind of gets it. He's the most experienced. In fact, he's been the pro gamer the longest, so it makes sense as well in his play style. But like, does he say everything he knows? Like, oh, this is how you beat that Terran thing.
And I want to know now, We know that players will watch other players' VODs to prepare. Do players watch TY's commentary to prepare for their own games against him?
Well, I would imagine that all the pros watch the games in GSL, so like you're listening to TY anyways.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you'd watch it to prepare, but I think it could be useful if you can find that it reflects long-term how he plays. Like if he's actually, you could tell if you listen to all his commentary and watch all his games, you'd be like, oh yeah, this is lining up. Like when he says this, like well, I know what he's going to use basically. Yeah, it's possible. But then TY being so smart uses the mind game of saying things and then doing the opposite.
Sandbagging on purpose on cast, misleading all of his viewers. Like, oh, this is a great way to defend this thing. You should definitely do this in your games if you play versus it.
I never beat this.
This is my weakest strategy. All right, Reapers are going to come over here, try to deny that CC. Nicely done by Kira to deny it, though. You will be able to keep that alive and going quite normally.
Maru backing up. Everything seems fine. Throws down that Widow Mine, extra bit of protection.
Is he going to lift that up and drop it later, or is he just going to sit it there?
Oh, the mine?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think you eventually do lift it up, but like, I always like a move like that. So if they do try to poke in, it's like great anti-cyclone and stuff too. It's like they have to sack a unit. That's it. It's like,
ooh, we got Cloak coming out. Oh, it's a pretty big deviation from what we've been seeing.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he just canceled it, but that was actually the mouse moving, mousing away from it. I was like, wait, what? He didn't even scout it or anything.
Just thinks twice of it, maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see if this can actually do something. You know, I don't expect to see any damage nearly to what we've been spoiled to with, you know, with the Banshees today. So
yeah,
not looking for a 20 kill one like we did earlier, but it is a shift. It is a mix up compared to what we've seen the last couple games. So.
Well, almost especially against Maru, though, I couldn't see it doing too much because this guy, like, he loves his Ravens.
Yeah.
Right? So he's already kind of tech heavy. He's already kind of sitting in his main. You're not likely to catch him with all of his units outside. So see, he's got a Raven on the way. The Raven's going to be popping out as the Banshee's over there cloaking, right?
Yeah, it should be timed out pretty well. If it's he's going to even see it. That is unlucky for Cure. He's going to lose a Reaper.
Do you cancel Cloak?
I'm not a Terran player, so I don't know, but maybe. That is the most uncommitted answer.
Yeah, I think you can keep it.
Yeah, I think keeping it's fine just because it's like,
especially
I mean, what
if
are you
you're
going
planning
to
on like
get?
mech or something. It's all right. He does complete.
I personally being like, you know, even though I'm not a Terran player, just like in general, like as a Protoss player as well, like whenever you commit to something, I feel like it's just worth it to commit to it anyway. Same to like the idea of just being decisive.
You
Like what can I?
huh?
Yeah, like what can I get with it? Like you know, there's always a possibility. Like here, oh wow, he actually almost lost it.
Wow.
That was pretty okay.
But you know what? Scans and gets 2 SCVs too.
Oh, he's gonna get the deny on the third CC for a little bit. That's always cute. Very nice.
Yeah, good scout. Gonna get out with 2 of them. Some
Forward
good
one.
harassment. Can't complain about this harassment from Kier.
But yeah, like it feels better to just do it to then try it anyway. It's like scouted DT drops in PvZ, right? It's like you know that they scout it, you know that they know it's coming, but it's still 3 or 4 invisible men. What is possible?
True.
There's a lot that's possible.
Yeah.
There's always something that's
always
possible
something that's
with the
possible.
invisible people.
Yeah,
so
can't deny that.
it's the same idea, I feel, where especially, you know, it's Cloak, it's same invisible, it's the invisible woman, the invisible flying woman. Surely she can get something done, right?
In an airplane. Well, moves that mine out forward quite a bit. Everything seems all right, right? Kira's up a few SCVs after that harassment. Looks like their upgrades are pretty well lined up.
Where is the next deviation going to come in? That's what I'm looking for.
I think it's probably just movement, right? Like Maru is more likely to do some like small harassment coming up, and then Kira, you know, generally will move out with his basically his whole army.
Oh, that missile turret is barely not in the right spot. Oh, never mind, I lied entirely. It barely gets a couple of shots, but then we'll still get through anyway. None of Maru's units are here to defend it, actually, so we'll be able to kill off a couple units here. Not too bad. The Ravens will come back and laugh at it as it runs away to the corner without, actually disabling it. I wasn't expecting that, actually. That's kind of funny. But we'll dissuade it. Not really anything influential in terms of damage. Just a couple SCVs.
And the Cyclone's just going to keep that back there.
This is actually super annoying to just leave stuff there. I hate playing against this as a Protoss versus Terran when they just leave drop ships in the corner. It's actually so frustrating because you know that you kind of you're like, you know, oh, I've outplayed you. I've defended the drop. Oh, great.
Yes.
I'm doing better right now. And then they just sit it there, and so then you then have to you're then forced to, you know, always be thinking about it. And you sometimes even have to leave a lot of your army to defend against it. So it's like always something that you have to keep on the back of your mind, and it's like it's just really frustrating to always have to keep up with that. And luckily for Maru, he does have a Viking here, so that's going to be a very easy thing to clear up. So won't really be doing much for him. But you know, I'm sitting here, you know, crying my tears out when I'm playing ladder.
You know what? If enough of your Brotosses say that it's frustrating to play against, maybe they'll remove dead airspace behind mains, just like they removed observers speed.
That's a great point, Artosis. You know what? Everyone, you know what to do. Make the Reddit thread. I'll be there in a few hours.
Right. I mean, Kier macroing pretty well. He's got a big chunk of army moving out right now, scanning ahead. Not really seeing a whole lot there. Oh, look at that scan from Maru. Catches the tail end of it. Beautiful.
God.
Beautiful. He knows.
Oh, man.
He knows what's up.
So good.
Reasonable siege there, I think.
Yeah, I like this siege position. It's going to allow him to then elevator into the left if he really wanted to, but doesn't want to, obviously. He's going to back up. There's a lot of tank positions out. Oh, actually, we'll get a... Nope. Oh, that's the worst. 2 health on it.
Ouch.
Really, it sucks when you're always trying to get that last tiny little bit of value. Like, oh, this didn't work, but let me just get this, and then it doesn't do that either. And you're like, oh, why do I try?
Kier continuing to maneuver around. Maru getting another command center down. Kier, of course, is as well at home. Both of them still pretty much tied in upgrades, adding their second factories at the same time. Everything is still really similar as far as like what they are making. But the difference you see is just kind of like how they're moving around the map, right? Kier is fielding a bit more of his army. Maru playing a bit more defensively here.
Maru's like significant or consistently had just like less army supply for the last couple minutes of this game, and I kind of missed why. Why does he's kind of just sitting at like 10 or so supply less this whole time, but otherwise it's completely even.
Yeah, that is kind of interesting. Right?
But like nothing's really happened.
Well, it might have to do with just the light harassment that went down, right? Like you can suddenly, like a barracks is a little bit later or something because you lost those SCVs to the Banshee and the Reaper and stuff. It wasn't that big though, so yeah. Slightly different builds.
A lot of Liberators actually getting made out right now. See, there's two in production. He's got the tanks coming too.
And look at this actually. Kier adding 2 starports before Maru. A little bit of a change.
Who gets slapped with that anti-armor. We'll be able to get a couple SCVs on the retreat, but otherwise nothing really done. But yeah, the fast starports from Kier is definitely a big deviation comparatively for this series. So will he be able to then propel that to get the upper hand with the Raven count, with the Sky Terran, to then beat Maru at his own game, essentially?
I like that he's being proactive about this, right? Because that's the way that Maru has been playing so heavily, right? Like Maru's sitting here right now on 2 Ravens and 6 Vikings. That's normally more than what Kier has in that department. But Kier right now, actually, he's up a single tank. That's not the big deal, though. Just the fact that he has more Vikings is something that's going to make a big difference in their engagements.
Almost getting a couple Vikings there. That would have been a pretty good catch. But Kier is going to be able to push this here. A lot of Maru stuff is going to be coming from that top side, so he's going to have to rally through. Actually have to cancel the command center so that way he can get enough surface area to engage if it does happen to go to that length. So that's going to put him back behind just a little bit here. So that's already kind of a win for Kier. We'll see if he decides to keep pushing. He is going to move forward, maybe being even in range of that PF. He is, so that's going to be a nice foothold. Although Maru now is going onto the map to try and get a flank maneuver or counterattack.
Yeah, I think he's trying to counterattack, but Kier sees it. Oh, the sickest arbitrary going to get right on top of that. Maru, though, pulls back into some siege tanks he was sitting down as well.
What the?
Yeah, no, there were way too many siege tanks there. Oh my god, look at this Viking land plus stim forward. What a move from Kier. He's going to kill all the siege tanks.
Oh my god, what a swing. And now Maru, feeling that he's got nothing. Okay, and he is going to come back. He's splitting up his army. He actually is going in between the middle of the map, like back and forth. He doesn't seem to know what to do exactly. Coming back with his Marines, going to try to engage this tank count, but there's a lot of tanks, even some from behind as well, going to be able to lay down onto that. There's some Ravens here that will be able to disable these tanks from Kier, but I don't really think that Maru has much of a spot to continue with this counterattack.
Yeah, it does feel that way, but where are the rest of his tanks? There might be a way in for Maru to do a bit more damage. Now, Kier continuing to push up here. A lot of SCVs going down for Maru once again. This seems to happen during these base trades. So he's actually turned around with the rest of his army, which really makes me think Kier is going to be able to take this one home.
Yeah, he's killed 50 SCVs, 52 SCVs, and he's forcing Maru to retreat after Maru only killed a command center when there's 2 more that are already ready for cure. This is
It's just not enough?
This
is just not enough?
Yeah, this is just a very, very clean mid-game out of Cure right here.
Yeah, Cure was just, he was so decisive with that nice attack on the planetary and then busting those tanks, and suddenly Maru, without a leg left to stand on, Cure comes up with a flank as Maru's trying to break him and going to be able to cancel another base.
60 NCVs and counting. Cure is going to even the series. We finally have a best of 5.
I tell you what, the rest of the night totally worth getting right here, right now. This TVT series is just awesome. I loved Cure's move. I love that he leapfrogged ahead into the Sky Terran over Maru, which is something that hasn't happened this series yet, and just generally from their styles, like we mentioned, doesn't happen that often. But that was a great move. His siege up on the planetary, Maru was out of position for that, and the pouncing on the tanks as Maru was trying to counter. You put all this together, that's a victory for Cure, and well earned.
And we've been talking about decisiveness this entire time. That is what Cure just did. Maru, not decisive whatsoever, went back and forth multiple times with his army, did not know what he was trying to do, and it cost him hugely. Game number 5 on Pillars of Gold. Let's do it.
Game start.
Nice. Yes, I even was going to say it. I was like, now is the time.
It is the time, you're right.
Oh, yes, I'm
it's
excited.
So funny. It's like, yeah, it's like, Maru, it's 2-2 now. It looked like you were going to run away with the series, and so what should you do? He's like, oh, I got it, don't worry. I got this strat I've been saving, you're not going to believe it. I think we're going to believe it.
You'll never see this one coming.
Look at the look on his face! Oh, he's got side lips going on.
Get ready, Cure.
That is so funny. Just that look on his face. That's the... He's resigned. Whatever's going to happen here is going to happen. That's it. That's the look like, I don't know if I'm going to win Super Turn or not. Oh, the double gas, so no command center.
It's going to be a faster factory, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Of course, the faster factory gives you those quick Hellions, which are very influential in trying to kill off those fast Reapers. So Cure is already looking like he's in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, and with the SCV Scout coming across, it's going to give him some warning as well as to what's up. Oh, man.
Oh, Maru.
You're going to wait for both Reapers, right?
Yeah.
For the jump up. And he's going to get there and scout it before that pops in, just before.
So the question is, though, does it end up doing such minimal amount of damage that Cure is just unbelievably far ahead and can just kind of quickly snowball a win? Because there's plenty of times where you see a proxy and you see it get defended and you're like, okay, cool, the game's over, wonderful, this player has won. But then it kind of peters out for quite a while, and there's still a lot of opportunity for the proxying player to then pull back.
Yeah.
It's not as always as simple as it looks, right? There's still some other stuff afterwards. So that's what we want to see. So Cure obviously now knows what exactly he's playing against. He's got his SCV in the other side of the base. And so he's going to be able to defend now. He's got his factory still on the way. There's still going to be a little bit of room for him to get some damage done before that is finished. Cure already preparing with the SCVs pulled to try and get some extra DPS off. So we'll see what can actually happen here.
The block in there as well. Look at that. He brings the SCV up from the other side, from the ramp, to try to get that little bit of extra damage and tanking. And he does. I mean, he gets a pick off already. Look at his SCV still left alive. A lot of SCVs pulled from Cure. I think he's doing a good job of handling this crisis. Oh, a good grenade goes down. Another Reaper pops up. The first Hellion's going to be coming out very soon here.
Yep, he's going to be able to get one more SCV. Or 2 more SCVs getting it with the grenade there. Pretty nice. But the Hellion is out now. He's going to have to be careful not to clump his Reapers up. Loses one on the retreat. Will be able to get out. Ooh, just barely does not get that one dead. Maru has been making SCVs this whole time, so he knows that he wasn't really trying to actually deal critical, game-ending damage with that. He realizes the situation, of course, knowing he got scouted, so he was not prepared to actually end it all with that.
Yeah, and by the way, just a little thing I noticed there. Maru started 2 more Reapers and canceled 1. So he has a very precise thing that he's looking to do here. Sending 1 Rax in. Of course, he has that command center on the way. The factory just finished up. And the command center starts in the main base here for Kier.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of hard to get that outside with the Reapers, of course, although he does have 2 Hellions out. So just taking the safer route, doesn't want to risk it. Maru will have the slight edge in that regard, having it on location, but really minuscule. Although the more important thing is that he's actually maybe like 20, 15 seconds ahead on that. So
yeah,
Maru ends up.
No, he
actually gets that denied.
It worked for him. Look at that. He lands the barracks, which traps everything. Are you kidding me?
Oh my God, Maru, you sexy dog.
MacGyver Terran over here.
Oh my goodness. Yo, what if he cancels that building? Oh my God, oh my God, he does.
Oh my God.
Maru.
I can't even believe what I'm seeing. This never happened before.
Maru, you are unbelievable at this video game.
He really is so good at this video game. His parents must be so proud.
I'm so glad that what you've decided to do from your birthright has actually been successful for you. Oh my goodness.
Oh man. I'm like just so impressed with Maru. Like, I mean, this has happened to me a lot of times in my life now. Maybe I should stop being so impressed, but just like every move he's made here, he really got the upper hand with this double proxy racks.
And it was completely scouted from the beginning. Well, not like, not the actual proxy itself, but it was, the most safest early scout possible.
Yeah.
Kier was already going for the 2 gas factory opener, so he had his best possible chance to defend it as he could. And Maru still is able to find those tiny windows, the tiniest windows, the landing of the barracks. Oh
that
my
was
God.
crazy. That was crazy. And look
I
at this.
love it.
He's up 5 SCVs. His starport's way quicker. He canceled the starport. Kier, for God's sake. He went factory first, and his starport is like finished way after Maru's. He's got a way later expansion. Who knew 2 racks proxy Reaper is the best macro opener?
That's what they say about 12 pool now in ZVP too, right?
I know. God, Dark was right all along.
There will be a little bit of an opportunity here with Kira's slightly larger army size, as Maru, of course, had to put more resources into teching up after the proxy 2 rack. So some things will be a little bit later in that regard, but he is getting Ravens out. He's got his second one already almost finished by the time this push will be here, which will give him, again, a lot of utility to defend this push. So are you really thinking this is going to do that much?
Oh, no. No? No, is that an okay answer?
I'll take that answer.
I'm not super
Artosis.
feeling it. I'm not super feeling it. Like, look at this. You can see
Oh,
Maru
even
set
ran
up very
into
differently.
it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, auto turret's coming down to help as well. Yeah.
Forcing the scan out to keep high ground vision. Oh, that Viking is.
Oh,
he gets the
my
tank.
God. Okay, well that was. Yeah.
Wow.
That's Maru for you right there. I like as well. You could see how he played. Kind of a similar position to how Kier played it. His 2 Reapers were on the very edge, giving just slightly more vision to him, which is something that, obviously he abused, so he thinks, oh, this guy could abuse it too. This guy.
This
Kier.
guy. This
Whoever this ladder player that I'm against, I don't know.
It's a barcode. I don't know
Yeah,
what the hell
who's
he's
this
doing.
barcode over here? Maru doesn't see faces, he sees barcodes.
I like the, he also, in the meantime of that push, by the way, there was a Liberator trying to go into the back from Kier, and it was just completely negated by a patrolling Cyclone that was just sitting there. It wasn't even in the fight at all. It's still there. So even during that, Maru was defending the harass trying to happen at the same time.
That's kind of funny because a lot of players will pull that over.
Yeah, exactly.
Immediately.
Yep.
And the thing is, he kind of barely held it. If he had pulled over the Cyclone, it would have gone a little bit better, but then the Liberator gets its damage.
That's what that was.
I actually think it was. He's the best Terran in the world. Like,
Yeah.
it makes sense. Yeah.
So he's obviously going to be in a way better position defending that off of the initial advantage he had from the 2 racks as well. Kira's going to be trying to deny this third base as much as possible. The disables go onto the tanks. The Raven gets immediately sniped off, and Maru's not even sieging his tanks. He's just walking forward trying to dislodge this. Although the tank is now going to be off of the disable, but not quite in time until the other tanks get on top of it. So this will get pushed off, and Maru is looking real good right now. The Liberator also dies to that turret. Maru
Oh,
is
man.
in an absolutely amazing position.
Yeah, he is dominating right now. This is looking so rough. Like, his upgrades are all way ahead. His economy is ahead by 10 SCVs right now. He's like double the army supply.
He's more handsome. Everything.
Oh my
Everything's
God,
in his
just
favor.
everything. Suddenly he's taller than Cure. How did that happen in this game? That must have really hurt.
He's got his foot on his head in the middle of the match. Kira like looks up. He's like, "No, what's happening? I thought we were playing a TVT. What's going on?"
Yeah, unfortunately, that is what it looks like this time. Oh, Maru coming in, disabling both those tanks. The SCV's being pulled here, but that definitely won't be enough. The Vikings land and massacre the SCVs, and GG is called. Maru cleans it up. It was a great series, but I think for sure we saw the better TVT player win.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
But it was a great series, and Kira is an amazing TVT player. It's just, at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, we had 2 really close games, and then like 3 games that weren't so close.
Yeah.
You know? 2 of which were Maru victories.
That is a good point as well. The demanding wins were the one that were the player that won, right? So
Well, yeah. Game 1 was kind of a good win for Kira too, though, so I don't want to
That's
take
true.
too much
That is
away.
true.
But yeah, no, that was a great TVT series. Definitely recommend that one to people.
Oh, yeah.
The other 3 series, take them or leave them, whatever. You have a player there you like, it's cool.
yeah, if you need some builds to copy, if you need some good games to look at for studying, that's what those are basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
The 3-0s are going to be like that, but that TVT was definitely
Yeah.
which game with the Death Aura, was that the one that was crazy, or Lightshade? Death Aura, I think, right? Game 2. Whatever game 2
Yeah,
was.
no. It was Lightshade, wasn't it? No.
It's Death Aura.
I don't know. I can't remember now.
Game number 2.
I don't know,
Game
man.
number 2 was the crazy one.
I just casted 14 games in a row. Leave me alone. I don't have any idea. Like, it was
can't
Port
remember
Alexander.
anything.
It was Port Alexander.
Get your boats ready.
Get your boats ready. All right, here's what happened. I can't even speak anymore.
Bracket.
God. All right, so next up, TY versus Dark, SOS versus Trap, Stats versus Innovation, and Rogue against Maru. Wow, these are some matches, aren't they? These are some matches. Holy crap!
Wow.
What is this?
Dude, every single one of these games is potentially insane.
These are all like GSL finals level matches. Literally.
Oh my goodness. I don't even know what I'm most looking forward to other than Trap.
Look at this. Okay, so we have 6 of these players are champions, and the other ones have gotten multiple runner-ups.
Yep.
Like, what the hell? This is like the most ridiculously stacked round of 8 ever, I think.
And then the matchups too. We have Rogue Maru, the
Yeah.
X Gen Airs playing against each other. Stats Innovation, the 2 macro gods playing against each other. SOS Trap, the memester versus the wannabe most solid Protoss player. TY Dark, the smartest 2 of their race.
Yeah. No, it's quite a lineup of matches. Which means we didn't have any upsets in this round.
Yeah,
that's basically
true.
what that
Yeah,
comes down to.
That is true.
Maybe SOS Zest is a slight upset. Who knows? But they're similar. Yeah, that was sick. Great night of StarCraft. Love that TVT. It was amazing.
Oh,
And you were amazing.
Thank you so much.
How'd you like casting GSL?
It was absolutely wonderful. Hopefully it was enjoyable for you as well. But we are about done here. So we will see you all next time. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, night, wherever you are. We love you.